I'm Chronix from the most extreme wrestling, and this is your AEW Full Gear 2020 review. This took place live November 7th, 2020 from Jacksonville, Florida. I did not get to see this pay-per-view live, unfortunately. I had to watch it the very next day. But I was able to avoid the spoilers just by the virtue of staying busy. Here on commentary, we have Excalibur, Tony Schiavone, and JR. But we have one added commentator for the night. Here on our opening match, it is the World Title Eliminator Tournament. It's coming to an end. The winner of this match is going to get a championship opportunity against the AEW World Heavyweight Champion. So yes, we have the finalist. We have none other than Kenny Omega getting one of the longest introductions ever again from Justin Roberts about all of his accomplishments. He's got his sweeper dancers. Yeah, Kenny Omega taking on Hangman Page. Now, Hangman Page does not get all this kind of craziness on his entrance. And, well, I guess we would all be better for that. I mean, we don't want everybody running out here with brooms and whatnot. But both men here, they lock up quick. You know, this is two guys that used to be in a tag team together, and now they have broken apart, and they have been damaged beyond repair. They've come to this tournament. And one of these guys is going to ascend, potentially becoming the next World Heavyweight Champion in AEW. And the other, going to have to wait a while because it's just the virtue of them not advancing here. But yeah, inside of the ring, men are fighting. And once Page gets to the outside, Omega quick to try to jump on this man, but he slides out of the way. Kenny Omega still in the ring. Eats a big boot from the cowboy over here. Yeah, from Adam Page. And there was even a spot where Kenny Omega, he's starting to get frustrated over here. He's over there on the apron and gets a buckshot lariat from Hangman Adam Page. Boom! Turns this man inside out. I'm talking about inside out, upside down. He was out of here. But yeah, Page tries to fly outside and gets sidestepped by Omega this time, sending Adam Page all the way to the floor, hurting himself, essentially. I mean, that's a big tumble. You got to admit this. But inside of the ring, they continue in this match. Of course, good stuff. What we would have expected, the quality of this match. But my man, Adam Page, he's up on the shoulders of Kenny Omega. He's struggling to get out of it. He can't quite. Because, boom, right here, one winged angel by Kenny Omega. And that's all it takes, a 1-2-3 pinfall victory for Omega, and he advances. This man now is guaranteed a world championship match. That's what I expected on my predictions and scenarios. I couldn't have seen it go any other way, but don't you worry, don't you fret, because I promise you, Adam Page, he's going to be there. This was not just him being somebody to beat. This was to showcase both of these individuals and how great that they are, and that really that they both belong. This kind of even-handed match that Kenny Omega has walked away with. Now we get a AEW Games commercial, so are they making a game? I think that they're just going to play games. I don't know. I haven't looked that up beyond just seeing the commercial in front of my face. We have Orange Cassidy taking on John Silver, number 4 of the Dark Order. Who was ready for this match? Who was hyped? Was there one person that bought this pay-per-view just to see this match? Well, I don't think that's even possible. I don't even think that would have been one of the things that somebody would have said, you know what, these two guys, just icing on the cake. I mean, maybe Orange Cassidy, because, well, he's funny and all of this, but, on commentary, we are told from Excalibur, this knowledgeable individual wearing a mask, that John Silver has separated himself from the pack of the Dark Order. And I'm sitting there thinking, hold on, wait, you mean John Silver, the guy who's literally right now, as you're saying this, walking with the Dark Order behind him? What are you saying? I mean, maybe separated from the pack as in literally the only relevant thing regarding the Dark Order on the pay-per-view. And what does that say about the Dark Order? You had Brody Lee, he's supposed to be the exalted one, he came from WWE, he's supposed to be this big thing. Oh, we're gonna do all these things. Oh, now we have a female member in our Dark Order. That's cool, but what is anyone doing? We got John Silver, literally the least, well, maybe the second least, his tag partner, I don't know. But one of just the people that are almost a nobody on their roster. He did some funny things on YouTube, so put him on the pay-per-view. That is very strange. And I didn't like this match. Spoiler alert. You have Orange Cassidy, he's going to put his hands in his pocket all slow-like. And John Silver's getting very mad about this. He's like, don't you put those hands in those pockets. Ooh, you better not. And he does a little thumbs up, and John Silver's like, oh my God, I can't believe it. He did that. Oh no, now he's kicking me with those little baby kicks. This is the kind of match, if I booked Orange Cassidy and I wanted to have like a comedy match, this is literally the match I would put in front of 200 people. Or 500 people. It doesn't matter. And it doesn't matter that there's 1,000 people at the AEW pay-per-view. That's because of other reasons. My point is, that's an indie match. That's not I'm going to pay $50-something for a pay-per-view to watch two guys play around in the ring. I like Orange Cassidy. And John Silver, he could be a cool guy, whatever. But pay-per-view match, dude, this is something that I would have expected to see on Dark. And, you could have just cut and paste this onto Dark, and no one would have noticed, no one would have said, boy, that's weird, they just had a pay-per-view quality match right here on Dark. No one would say that. Orange Cassidy, he wins. Wins via pinfall, so there you go. Next up, we have the TNT Championship match. Cody Rhodes, he is the TNT champion, and he comes in with Brandy and the Nightmare family. Got referee Mike Chioda, and he is taking on Darby Allin. And Darby Allin comes in this old beater car that's got spray paint on it stuff. Honestly, it looked pretty cool. I mean, if I had that car, like a $500, $700 car, whatever the case that thing was, I would have done the same thing. I mean, why not? Hey, you're Darby Allin. You got your spray paint thing. You're a skater. It all matches. It looks like it fits. Plus, you don't have to spend very much money. I just hope that that's not the car that he's driving to the shows, because it looks a little far from reliable. He's got a skateboard, and he takes the skateboard and plants it into the windshield. So, yeah. I like that. I like the look of it. I like the impression it left to me. Hey, it fits his personality. I like it. He's going into a big match. It's a little different, but hey, you got to stand out, man. When you're going to have a big match at a big pay-per-view, do the extra. Be extra. Cody, he's looking bigger. He's looking larger. They keep talking about how, he's put on all this weight. He's going to be a heavyweight. He's going to do this. This is going to be like the new Cody. And, so he's going to be a heavyweight now. So that's cool. I like that. It makes me feel like they're going to build towards something where Cody is going to be taking on a larger opponent, perhaps. Maybe that's why they are doing that. Maybe so he can somehow get a championship match, even though he's not supposed to in the future. Maybe that is the case right there. But yeah, these guys having a good match here. What would you expect? Good action going on. There's an Avalanche Cody Rhodes, crossroads going on here, but you got a kick out. You got Darby jumping on the back of Cody. That's almost in desperation. He's jumping on him, but Cody goes up to the second turnbuckle, drops this man on the ground. Cody brings in the weight belt, but doesn't use it because why? Well, he's a good guy, and he likes Darby Allin. I think he sees a little bit in him, not just because they both have the blonde hair, although I did think that the matching kind of hair kind of made it feel like, oh, you know, they're very similar. They're different. They come from different backgrounds, whatever the case may be, but they see a lot in each other. Darby goes for the coffin drop, but a kick out there. The men start doing these roll-ups back and forth, and somehow Darby Allin is able to squeeze a pinfall victory right here. Cody looks shocked, as he should, and Cody goes and gets the TNT Championship belt. Just a little bit of what are they going to do here? Is he going to be bad? Is he going to attack him? Is he mad? I mean, surely not, Cody. We like you. You wouldn't do something like that. And Cody gets the belt, holds it out, and then gets on one knee like he's proposing to somebody and is like, here, take the belt. You deserve it. And I'm thinking, what is that? Like, in what world would you do that? Like, okay, he beat you, he narrowly beat you, but you're handing it to him like he's the next coming, like he's the next guy. Like this is the next John Cena, this is the next Hulk Hogan. You earned this. You are The Rock. Oh, here you go. Like some kind of weird passing of the torch. I mean, excessive, I think, is the point here. And Darby, of course, is emotional. Hey man, you're gonna be emotional, you win a championship like that. And he's just like, I won, yeah! And he's got his championship. Then party's over because Taz comes down. He says he's gonna vomit at all this like love fest that's going on. And Brian Cage and Ricky Starks attack from behind. And Taz gets the title. Brian Cage carries Darby out into the crowd. You got the concrete area out there. They're trying to help, but look, it's chaos out here. Cody's trying to help. Hey, Darby goes through the full gear sign and then through his own car. It looks like they're going to tie him down here and like break his arm in the car door that Darby Allin came down in. But Will Hobbs has a chair. He saves. He comes out of nowhere. And Darby is laid out on the car, but he does have his championship belt. So, hey, this is kind of what I'm sure a lot of people expected, that we would see involvement with Team Taz, and that's what I predicted. I don't know if it's going to be Cody taking on Brian Cage because Cody's getting bigger, and they keep talking about that, and they don't want to make it look like, oh, this is a small guy versus a really big guy. They want to make it like this is like a normal guy versus a pretty big muscular dude, you know what I'm saying? Whereas if Darby was going against Brian Cage, it would be obvious that there's a huge size difference, and the way the match would be wrestled would be a lot different. Kind of like how when Batista and Rey Mysterio would have matches, you know, it wasn't like two big guys fighting. You have to obviously account for the size difference, whether you want to admit it or not. People are going to see that and be like, man, what? How? I mean, he's wearing them skinny jeans. I can see how thin his legs are. You're going to tell me that he can just straight up just vertical suplex this man? No problem? I have questions. I have so many questions. Next up, we have QT Marshall and Dustin. They're upset because the bunny left QT Marshall. She got tired of his red apples. And they had mentioned that she was bored and she joined. This is ridiculous. Like, this is one of the storylines on the show that they should just get rid of. Nobody cares. Nobody cares about why Bunny is here nor there. Especially the way they handled it in the first place. It's just like, well, we're here on Dynamite, and if you didn't watch anything that happened on Dark, we might not even tell you about it. They might bring it up like once, let you know, hey, this happened this one time, but not going to guarantee it. So anyways, They're going to have a bunkhouse tag match on Wednesday, so all right, that's what they're going to be doing over there. So enjoy that on Wednesday, a tag team type match. Now we have the AEW Women's Championship. It is Nyla Rose with Vicky Guerrero challenging Hikaru Shida, who is the Women's Champion. I predicted that Nyla Rose pretty much had to just walk into this thing and walk out the champion. But, let's see what actually happened. Nyla Rose in this match, she's trying to go for a weapon here. Referee Aubrey Edwards steps in and is like, nah, you cannot do this. It does not stop Nyla from going through the barricade. Vicky goes for Shida's leg, and there's a little bit of tussling outside. This match wasn't incredibly long, but once you get back inside the ring, Nyla, she gets hit with a Falcon Arrow. Even though Shida's leg hurt, I don't know how she is able to do that. It's like Shida, it's already kind of a stretch for me to believe that she could pick up Nyla and do it. Pick her all the way up and then slam this lady, which she did. I saw it with my own two eyes. My point is, her leg was hurt. I don't even know how it would have been possible. I would have maybe just hit her with a knee or something. But she did it, that's the point. She did it, and she followed it up with a flurry of knees to the face. And because of this, Nyla wins and gets the pinfall and is still the champion. I have no idea why you would keep the belt on Hikaru Shida. Now, she's a great talent. She has really good matches. But let's be honest, she's a little bit limited as far as being able to do your storyline, unless you're going to have someone do all the talking for her, which I thought that's what they were going to do with Nyla Rose, but then they kind of didn't do anything with that storyline, at least on Dynamite, for a long time, so it felt like that was over, and then they're like, hey, we're doing the match, boom, here it is. So if you're going to have Shida on the shows, which they don't most of the time, and she doesn't talk, or she doesn't have any real interaction, you have to have some kind of interaction, whether it's one person talking to the camera, or a person talking to the crowd, or a person doing something, showing them working out, showing them punching a bag, and looking at something. I mean, anything, but they didn't really do very much of nothing. I don't know. It worries me that this is your women's champion, and it's like, what does she do? She has matches? Cool. Can we learn some more about her? Can we go more in depth? Can we get some character building stuff going on? It just feels a little hollow to have this championship match like this, and this is the way it's presented. Now we have the tag team match on the tag team championships are on the line. The AEW World Tag Team Championships. FTR, they are the champions, and they are defending against the Young Bucks. If the Young Bucks do not win, they will never challenge for the championships again. I predicted the Young Bucks would lose solely based on the fact that I just didn't think that they needed the championships at this moment. And FTR, it seems a little early to take it off of them. What actually happened, though? If you could anticipate this being a good match, well, of course it was. This was really good stuff, although I had some major problems with the way they handled some of these things, and I'll get to that. Look, I know that people like to really show appreciation to the former tag teams, and by doing this, or to do this, they will do moves like the 3D and Matt and Jeff Hardy's tag team maneuvers, showing homage or whatever. But honestly, if you do it so often and you do it in most matches anyways, it just feels like you're ripping stuff off. I saw so many people say online, oh, they're paying homage, that's so cool. And I'm like, yeah, but people are always doing this. If you do it all the time, how is it supposed to stand out? That's the way I look at it. You're doing a twist of fate and the swan dive, and look, in this Matt Jackson, he hurt his leg a few weeks ago. He wrestled a match where he also re-injured his leg. I thought going into this match, after this injury, after all of this, there was no way that the Young Bucks would be able to pull out a victory here. So during this whole match, sure, you had the Bucks, they went after Dax's hand. It was bloody, he had to tape it up, all this kind of stuff. But Matt Jackson, he hurts his leg by doing a backflip. So he's the one that hurt himself. So first, right out the bat, you done hurt yourself. It wasn't even your opponents that caused your downfall. But throughout this match, Matt Jackson gets attacked, his leg, even to the point where FTR taking off his boot, taking off his socks, attacking his foot directly, his ankle directly. He was in so much pain, he was hurting so much, and I don't know why he didn't tag out more. I mean, he had his tag partner, Nick, over there just like, yep, I'm over here ready to be tagged. And for whatever reason, Matt Jackson stayed in the ring, stayed in the match. And man, they had the sharpshooter that lasted forever. Dax has it locked. It's on him. And Matt Jackson, he's just wrenching back. Cash tries to assist. They go back and forth with this for a while, but Matt has to give up the move. He has to let go because it's hurting his own ankle. And FTR, man, FTR, like, I don't know why they couldn't beat Matt Jackson here, but Matt Jackson was able to get a super kick. His leg is injured, it is hurt. He is brutalized. This man didn't even got his shoes on, you know what I'm saying? He's lost one of his boots. He ain't even got his socks on, you know what I'm saying? He's missing part of his underwears and still able to hit the super kick. How? I mean, the man can barely walk and he's able to hit a super kick. Not only a super kick, but a super kick strong enough to knock this man over of FTR. I think it was Cash, right? Yeah, Cash laid on the ground and gets pinned. And when I mean pinned, I don't mean pinned. I mean Cash gets super kicked, falls on the ground, and Matt Jackson literally leans against him. Doesn't hook his arm. Why? Because he's clutching his ankle, which is hurt. So he's got partial body weight, not covering him completely, not putting all of his body weight on, not hooking an arm, a leg, nothing. Leans up against this man, 1, 2, 3. And we got new tag team champions. Now, you can say whatever you want about if the Young Bucks should have won or lost, but the way they did it is just embarrassing. All that Cash would have had to do is just barely lift one shoulder, the shoulder that didn't have any weight on it whatsoever. So why they did it like this, oh my gosh, it hurts my head. But that's what they did. Kenny Omega comes down to celebrate. Adam Page is standing in an entrance, almost out of the shot. That's what they do. My goodness, let's move on. We got the Elite Deletion match. Sammy Guevara drives his golf cart all the way to North Carolina. Matt Hardy is on the phone calling for help ASAP. Who's he calling for help from? Well, we don't really know yet, but I hope they get there quickly because this match is starting now. Sammy runs over one of Hardy's child's toys, so I guess that's going to be the kid reference here in this. And he is greeted. Sammy Guevara is greeted by Neo the drone. Matt Hardy shows up in a hologram, and Matt Hardy comes down in a old Ford monster truck and runs over Sammy's golf cart. But he got out of there in just the nick of time. Yeah, he did not get crushed, although his golf cart did. Sammy Guevara lives. They fight into the woods. They're suplexing each other on the ground. That doesn't seem safe whatsoever, but they did it anyways. They wrestle into the woods where there is a wrestling ring stood up. There's a table. Sammy Guevara gets thrown through the table, and yeah, okay. Let's see, Santana and Ortiz show up. I don't know where they came from. The driveway was blocked with a monster truck, so they must have already been there? I have no idea. But they definitely didn't ride in the golf cart with Sammy Guevara. Matt Hardy gets on a walkie-talkie and calls the awaiting private party. That's who he was talking about, I suppose. And yeah, they get out of the parked car to help. So they were already there as well in walking distance. You know, the logic of this thing is making my head like implode into like a black hole. That's what I feel like. I guess I'm just supposed to laugh at this and not take it seriously, but I'm just saying, it's kind of strange. So Matt Hardy gets a Roman candle. They end up having a Roman candle fight, Sammy Guevara and Matt Hardy, for whatever reason. That's insane. Hurricane Helms shows up, as I predicted that too. Doing so well. He gets tossed into the lake, and then the alternate gimmick of Hurricane Helms, the interviewer or whatever, he shows up and he gets tossed into the river. Later in the match, Hurricane Helms returns again. I mean, it is hurricane season. It feels like we have a hurricane appearing every single second. So, hey, man, I guess that makes sense. Why not? Hardy and Sammy get locked inside of the building so they can complete their match here with the wrestling ring inside. Sammy Guevara attacks with the turnbuckle hooks as he loosens them, uses them. There's a ladder, there's a chair inside of the ring. Matt Hardy's on top of a table, and Sammy Guevara goes up, pretends he's Jeff Hardy, and does a swan-time bomb on top and breaks the table. Oh my goodness, this match was insanity. And yeah, Matt, he loses his mind over here, throws Sammy through another table on the outside. You got Sammy Guevara, he's bleeding, his mouth is bleeding, the back of his head's bleeding. I guess it's supposed to be reminiscent of the last match that these guys had. And then Matt gets the chair to do the concerto, which literally means concussion chairto. Am I right? Am I right? Isn't that what that means? Okay. I'm gonna live. Matt Hardy, he gets the pinfall because he completely devastated old poor Sammy Guevara right here. Yeah, Private Party, they come in, they put Sammy Guevara in a trash can, and then they put the trash can in the back of a Dodge Dakota, which is driven by Senor, oh my gosh, he drives away. Senor Benjamin, why? Why do they do these things? And then Hardy's wife plays on the piano. Fireworks, champagne, everyone's happy. Yeah, now we got Lance Archer. He has a message for us. And he wants better people to eat, I guess. He wants to attack more people. And it's like, okay, sure, that's fine. But we haven't seen you in a while. We don't know where you're at. Where have you been? You're going to have to come back. Okay. What we got next? We have MJF and Chris Jericho. Now, Chris Jericho comes down to the ring. Everyone sings a song. It's a sing-along, happy time. Why not? MJF comes down. He actually comes down first. He's got the Chris Jericho pose going on, mocking Jericho with the jacket. Yeah, so they have their match. It's a good match here. I enjoyed this. I was kind of feeling a lull in the show, I'm not gonna lie, but Wardlow brings down the Dynamite Diamond Ring, and Jericho gets a bat from Jake Hager on the outside. This is classic right here. Chris Jericho's got the bat. He's gonna attack. He's gonna swing. But MJF just lays on the ground as the referee, who was distracted with Wardlow, turns around and is like, "Oh, was you cheating? Was you cheating? Was you cheating? What was going on here?" As they argue, MJF gets the roll-up and MJF gets the victory here. So MJF now is a part of the Inner Circle, which I did not expect. I did not predict. I was completely wrong about that, but I guess they want to do more comedy spots, and then maybe eventually we'll see these guys have a match, because I would love to see Chris Jericho and MJF have, more matches, let's be honest. Although this match wasn't my favorite, I did love the ending of this. I would just like it where they truly, truly hate each other. Right now, they're kind of like, I don't know how to feel. But MJF, he's welcome in. Chris Jericho shakes his hand. And Wardlow and MJF are a part of the Inner Circle. Backstage, Orange Cassidy is interviewed and immediately interrupted by Miro and Kip Sabian, and asks for an apology. They get one, but Kip Sabian slaps him anyways. So yeah, this thing is going to continue. Another storyline that feels, why'd you have to do this on the pay-per-view? Was it really necessary? Come on. I don't think it is. Now we have the I Quit match. This is your main event of the night. It is Eddie Kingston challenging for Jon Moxley's AEW World Heavyweight Championship. It is an I Quit match. And yeah, Jon Moxley comes in this thing, fist flying, angry, man. He is trying to get all his Street Fighter cred in here. Eddie Kingston, however, looking like a pack of Newports, like an overweight green Power Ranger. I don't know what he's thinking. But you know what? This thing dissolves into some MMA. There's some slaps. Eddie Kingston using that overhead belly-to-belly suplex, which I popped for. They fight outside, around the concrete. Yeah, they got chairs set up inside of the ring. Eddie Kingston, he's in trouble now because Jon Moxley's got that barbed wire baseball bat. He comes in with this thing. Eddie, however, wraps his hand in a little bit of barbed wire and starts punching Moxley. So you know this thing's getting bloody. It's getting sick up in here, my man. Eddie Kingston coming in with a suspicious black bag. What is in the bag? You already know. It's thumbtacks, dude. He pours them thumbtacks down, and they start fighting around on this. Eddie, people are getting dropped. I think Eddie had dropped Jon Moxley on this at this point. Yes, because Jon Moxley had all these thumbtacks in his back. Then Eddie Kingston goes to the outside and brings in sanitation. We're talking about rubbing alcohol here. And if you've ever got rubbing alcohol on a injury or a cut, yikes. Well, he's got thumbtacks in his back. He pours this rubbing alcohol on Jon Moxley and is like, whoa, like this dude just got shocked or something. Moxley, however, does hit a pile driver. And yeah, Eddie, it's got that barbed wire. And it's around his head. This is not where you want it. And Jon Moxley gets a chokehold, starts choking this man out. He has no other thing to say because he's got barbed wire cutting into his Adam's apple, into his neck. This man can't breathe, he can't talk, but he is able to barely squeeze out the words, I quit. Jon Moxley is still your AEW World Heavyweight Champion. Kenny Omega comes down in shorts, dressed for the occasion in his white shoes, picks up a thumbtack, basically reminding Jon Moxley, like, remember that one time that we fought and it was bloody? It was way bloodier than this. It was way sicker than this. And it could happen again, basically. Jon Moxley invites Kenny Omega into the ring, but he doesn't. No, Omega just leaves. So we do know that these guys will come head-to-head. They will fight, and they will get it on very soon, but not tonight. But that was AEW Full Gear 2020. I enjoyed the pay-per-view, and I will catch you guys next time.